I know what's online.
Recapping the Fins game. Real reaction, real opinions, real talk for real fans.
That sounds amazing.
On AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Gameday Uncensored is sponsored by South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experience amazing by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac. Make sure your next Cadillac is backed by Morse at Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac. Proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. By JM Lexus. At JM Lexus, you'll always get the home team advantage. And by Williamson Automotive. Williamson is Miami.
Today was one of those leave the game early games. Maybe you literally are leaving the game early. I wouldn't blame you, although it does feel good. 31-7 to New England. New England just scored their first points of the game with 13:43 left in the game. Maybe you're at home and you're saying, I'm going in the backyard, I'm going to barbecue, I'm going to start really boozing, or I'm just going to start watching other games. This is one of those games where you say, leave the game early. So if you're rolling out of Hard Rock Stadium right now and you want to jump in, I'm here for you. I'm Dan Day, by the way. 305-567-0560, the number to call and celebrate. And, 31-7, it's not really even that close. Couldn't happen to a better team. You will get no sympathy when it comes to the New England Patriots, a team that ran the league for 20 years. Yeah, no sympathy, no shame for the New England Patriots to get whooped like they're getting whooped right now by the Miami Dolphins. And if you're a Dolphins fan, celebrate. If you're a Patriots fan and you want to say, no, it's not fair, we Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, we want more championships, boo-hoo. Call up 305-567-0560. Today was one of those days where you felt like the Dolphins, they've had their struggles. Could be one of those days where they jump in there and make it happen. What was the knock on this Dolphins team last year? A lot of fun, a lot of scoring. But at the end of the season, when the going got tough, when the teams got good, they did not get going. Maybe, just maybe, Mike McDaniel and this organization saw what happened last year and rectified it and said, no, we have to change things. This needs to be a different team, a different makeup, so we have a different result. And lo and behold, we had our rough start. And yes, we had a rough start even when Tua Tagovailoa was playing. Remember, we barely beat Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's not that good. We were getting whooped by the Bills before Tua got hurt. Tua went out. The backup quarterback situation was absolutely horrendous. I'm sorry. This is Game Day Uncensored. I'll say it. Backup quarterback situation, horrendous. Skylar Thompson may be in the USFL or whatever next year. He might not even be in the NFL next year. We don't need him with the Dolphins. Snoop Huntley, best of luck. You tried your best. Ugh. Tim Boyle, no. But Tua's back now, and now Tua has proven he's worth every penny that we paid him for what he does on the field. Now, his injury, maybe you could say you shouldn't have paid him, but he's worth every penny for what he does for this Dolphins team on the field. Maybe this team has been built now to start peaking. And I know a lot of Dolphins fans are going to say this, well, it might be a little too late. I don't know about that. And I know you're riding a high on 3-game win streak. And, the argument is, it's not the strongest 3-game win streak. It's a 3-game win streak. You beat the teams that were ahead of you. You've got your team back. You're starting to get healthy. You got a 3-game win streak. You're still alive in the playoffs. And you've got dogs on this team that believe in this team. It was revealed earlier this week that Calais Campbell, at some point when we were 2-6, was asked about a possible trade. He said, no, I want to stay here. I believe in these guys. Mike McDaniel said, don't give up on us. And now this team is slowly creeping back to where they need to be. And maybe, just maybe, if you're a Dolphins fan, peaking at the right time. Instead of last year where you peaked too early, like a supernova, and then burnt out at the end. Maybe this team, slow burner, frustrating nonetheless at the beginning, and then all of a sudden, boom, white hot, and then playing best ball at the end of the season and playing a conducive type of ball to playoff football. A little more running, a little less gadgetry, a defense that we all know, defense travels. Ain't no need for a home or away game. If your defense is good, it is good. Oh, yeah, by the way, Chop Robinson, who people were saying is even on this team, he's starting to make his name known a little bit in this league too. Gets a big sack today. Dolphins have 4 sacks so far in the game. This defense playing like men possessed. Calais Campbell, don't call him 38 years old. Call him a man. Zach Sealer gets another strip sack. Ever since Sealer's been back, those 2 games we got run up and down the field. Remember, Zach Sealer was out with the bad eye. Zach Sealer is back now. This defense is strong. Jalen Ramsey out there. Drake May is running for his life. He is getting knocked around. Seriously, the Dolphins score another touchdown. They may consider pulling Drake May from this game because it's hazardous to his health. Putting it on the New England Patriots. And once again, no sorrow from us, especially since we've been in the same division for 20 or 30 years, having to deal with them. But really the rest of the league, you know what? No boo-hoo, no pity. You can't whoop that team enough. And, beat them while they're down. Yeah, they did it for a long time. They beat up on everybody for a long time, and they never took their foot off your throat. That's why I say I'm not a big guy about blowing people out. You know what? Don't run trick plays if you're Mike McDaniel, but at the same time, don't just start kneeling the ball either. Keep running your game. Keep running plays. If you beat them 50-7, that's okay with me also. 305-567-0560, the number to call if you want to get in on this so far glorious Dolphins game. About 13 minutes left of the game. Miami is up 31-7. Miami will most likely, and they are going to go 5-6 on the season. And oh no, don't look now. Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, 8:20 kickoff in Green Bay. You get a Green Bay team that is up and down, just like their quarterback, Jordan Love. I love him because he's unpredictable as hell. He'll make the greatest play I've ever seen in professional football 1 minute and then look like he doesn't know what the game of football is the next minute. You can go in there with your whole season, quote unquote, on the line. Go into Green Bay Thursday night, get that win, and all of a sudden, you're right there at 500, 6-6, and you don't have the murderer's row ahead of you that you thought you had at the beginning of the season. Chance to go in there, win these games, and get it going. A lot of people were saying, and we talked to Adam Beasley on the pregame show before saying, this is one of those games for the Dolphins today. You win and you keep hope alive, you lose, and it's all about the draft. Well, put a hold on the draft right now. And for those people that say, yeah, well, you know what's going to happen. We're going to end up faltering somewhere down the line, and we're only hurting our draft stock. I don't want to hear that right now. What I want to hear is Dolphins putting it on teams. 3-game win streak. I don't want to hear, yeah, but look who it was against. 3-game win streak. They go into Green Bay Thursday night for a chance to even up their record at 500 and keep their playoff hopes alive. For now, the playoff hopes are alive. Tua Tagovailoa looks absolutely wonderful. Jalen Waddle, for everyone that says maybe they should trade Jalen Waddle, they're paying him a ton of money to do nothing, has an immaculate day so far. The offense starts clicking. New England gets it to him. The defense is great. Zach Sealer with another sack. Oh, things are looking good. And maybe, just maybe, like I said, this team is trending up at the end of the season as opposed to last year trending down. Last year was a fun ride, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. Maybe this year will be the total opposite. Not a very fun ride at the beginning. Let's be honest about that. Not a very fun ride from the Dolphins at the beginning, especially when Tua Tagovailoa was out for those 4 weeks on the IR with a concussion. But it's starting to get fun. It's starting to feel good. These Dolphins starting to make you believe. Mike McDaniel in the preseason, one of the things we said, you have to learn how to adjust. Can't look like a deer in the headlights when Tua gets hurt in the Tennessee game or when something doesn't go your way. You have to learn to adjust. And maybe, just maybe, Mike McDaniel is adjusting right now and has adjusted. And this team has adjusted. And this team getting healthy. And oh yeah, Bradley Chubb could come back at some point this season. What if we do keep this win streak alive for another week or two and Bradley Chubb comes back? That's a great addition to a team that seems to be hitting their stride right now. How do you feel about it? 305-567-0560. We'll take your calls. Of course, you can also text in. You can go to the YouTube and Twitch because we are live on YouTube and Twitch. Put in your comments. These days, well, we'd say few and far between, but they're not. We're on a 3-game win streak. Beat up some teams. Beat the Rams. Okay, Rams are a 500 team. They're pretty decent. Beat the Raiders. A lot of people think the Raiders are not good. They beat the Ravens earlier this year. Now you've beaten, or you're going to beat, the New England Patriots, who not a very good team. Let's be honest. Drake May did not impress me as a great quarterback. I still to this day don't think Drake May is going to be a great quarterback. Now, he doesn't have a lot to work with over there in New England, but you look at guys when they come into the league, even Caleb Williams having a pretty decent day. Jaden Daniels, he's having kind of a rough day, but you see these guys and yeah, they're going to be good. Like when Joe Burrow came into the league, you're like, yeah, this guy's going to be good. Drake May doesn't come in and strike me as, whoa, this guy's going to be good, even though he doesn't have an offensive line or even though he's the youngest quarterback in the league and all this stuff. Drake May was running for his life, but I just don't think he has it. He definitely does not have it today. It has not been a Drake May day. It has been all about Tua Tagovailoa, Calais Campbell, Zach Sealer, Mike McDaniel, Jalen Waddle getting in the end zone, Devon Achane getting to the end zone twice. Devon Achane has been our secret weapon, and now it's not so secret anymore. Our biggest offensive weapon all season, it seems like. It is Tua's go-to guy. Jonnu Smith continues his unbelievable play. Jonnu Smith, another one of those guys at the beginning of the season. Is he on the team? What is he doing here? What's going on? Now all of a sudden it's like, man, that Jonnu Smith has got it going on. Miami Dolphins have it rolling right now as they're trying to put the finishing touches on the New England Patriots. 31-7 with about 12 minutes left in the game. The Patriots are on fourth down. They're on like the 30-yard line. They're going to have to punt most likely. Chop Robinson seems to be coming into his own. And yes, if you're saying, Gameday, why are you just pumping sunshine? Well, today's a sunshiny type of day. It's beautiful weather here in South Florida. Beautiful football being played. Miami Hurricanes yesterday took care of Wake Forest. They controlled their own destiny. And you just feel like, even though technically, mathematically, the Dolphins don't control their own destiny, you feel like if they can keep this winning going, they'll have some control into getting into the playoffs. And like I said, this is a team with the defense. This is a team with the running game. This is a team that kind of seems like they have it schemed up a little bit different this year to be a team that can win late in the season. And we'll see against good teams. Once again, I can't lie and say, oh, no, we've beaten good teams. The best team we've beaten this year, I got you. It is the Los Angeles Rams, who at one point were really bad, but they're getting healthy too. This team's healthy, getting healthy, seems to have been through the worst of the storm. Now let's try to have some fun with it. Miami Dolphins looking to go forward, stay healthy, win games, and make a push for the playoffs. Oh, man. Thursday night is going to be a fun one. Talk about meaningful football for the whole world to see. 8:20. Thanksgiving night. Don't eat too much turkey or tofu-urkey, however you want to do it, because you want to be up for that one. Don't have too much Red Stripe or Bloody Marys or whatever during the day, Grandpa's cough syrup during the day. You want to be focused on this game, because a couple of weeks ago, if you'd have told us, hey, Thanksgiving night's going to mean something, we'd say, what draft pick we're going to get overall? No. This is the chance now for the Miami Dolphins to go in there, get a win, get to 500, beat a good team at home in prime time, in nasty weather, and defy some of the critics. I'm not saying the people that wanted to punt on the season earlier this year were wrong. All I'm saying is you got to be very slow to punt sometimes on seasons. Not saying that this is a playoff team yet, but I'm saying they're trending in the right direction. Not saying this team has beaten anybody good yet, although the Rams are pretty decent, but they're beating teams now later in the season. I'm not saying this defense is top. Well, I am saying this defense is one of the top defenses in the league. They showed all the numbers. Anthony Weaver has been absolutely fantastic this year. And like I said, if you ask Drake May if this defense is good, he'll tell you, whoo, he just threw a airmail pass to nobody. There was not even Dolphins in the screen where he just threw the pass. Calais Campbell was on his you-know-what. Drake May going to have to take some ice baths and relax after today, because they got to him really big time. It's Dolphins team, like I said, it's not where, like my mama, Big Lynn always said, not where you start, it's where you finish. And this team looking to finish. And like I said, I know a lot of work to do, big hole that they dug for themselves, but still gives you hope. You're playing meaningful football. You're playing your best football of the season, and you're winning games. Once again, the Patriots on fourth down going for it. They can't complete a pass. They had turnover on downs with 11 minutes to go, 31-7. Dolphins on their own side of the field. Once again, Mike McDaniel. I'm not saying to run Statue of Liberty plays or hooks and ladders or inside pitches or anything crazy, but I'm not saying take the foot off the gas. This is the New England Patriots team that for 20 years plus killed everybody. Unprecedented run. Had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, if not the greatest quarterback of all time. And a team that made us here in Miami miserable. A team that had kept us out of the playoffs and kept us basically not single-handedly. We did our own parts too. But they were a major reason why this team has not won a playoff game in 24 years. Tua Tagovailoa has been pulled from the game. Skylar Thompson is now in the game. If you're not leaving the stadium now, you are hardcore. I don't blame you. You can stay in the stadium, but if you're leaving, I also don't blame you. You don't need to see the sky's the limit. A lot of running is going to be happening now. Get Jalen Wright some run. Get some of these other guys some run. Get these starters out of here. Once again, health been a big issue on why the Dolphins have been playing better. Tua Tagovailoa having a big day. Dolphins looking good. Jonnu Smith getting in the end zone. Devon Achane getting in the end zone twice. And Jalen Waddle. End zone, baby. Dolphins keeping it going with this season. New England. Tua doesn't lose to New England. Never lost to the New England Patriots. Doesn't matter if it's Bill Belichick. Doesn't matter if it's Gerard Mayo. Well, just saying. We don't lose to the Patriots, it seems like lately. Oh, Jalen Wright did fumble. And Skylar Thompson cannot tackle. This could be a fumble return for a touchdown. It is going to be. So 31-14. Still not getting very nervous, but maybe you pulled Tua a little too soon. I don't know. Nah. No worries in this one right now. No worries at all. It has been a good day to be a Dolphins fan. Hopefully more good days to come. Thanksgiving, something to be thankful for. Meaningful football. Meaning that we're not looking at where could we possibly end up in the draft. Meaning we go in there. This is a true litmus test. The true litmus test is Thanksgiving night in Green Bay in colder weather. Don't know what it's going to be like completely, but it's probably not going to be very nice. Against a good team. Like I said, though, they're an up and down team like their quarterback, Jordan Love. Sometimes great, sometimes bewildering, but a good Green Bay team. Won a playoff game last year, even though it was against the Dallas Cowboys. None that almost beat the 49ers. People forget about that. Bad weather in San Francisco for once. But if you go in Thursday, it's a true litmus test. This is a Dolphins team that goes in Thursday night, and we see who they really are. You can say at the beginning of the season, they were going through some growing pains, or maybe Tua Tagovailoa was hurt. You could say right now, they're coming into their own. They're getting healthy. Well, all that will be answered. Which team are we going to get? Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? Thursday night, right here. Right here. 560 WQM. We got the pregame starting at 4 o'clock. I'm going to be postgame with my cousin Vladimir Louison. That is going to be starting at around 11:30, going till 1:30. We're going to keep the party going. Of course, the party continues to go. Patriots did just score, as I said. No worries, though. No worries. Actually, I think they went for 2. They went with a hook and ladder. So 31-15 right now. So it is a 16-point game. Dolphins will stay in control. Let's keep this celebration going. Skylar Thompson is in. No more fumble, handoff, let them pick scoop and scores. Dolphins, let's just put this team to bed. Like I said, Mike McDaniel, I don't always like running up scores, but if they're not stopping you, just keep it going. I do feel pretty bad. Menu just text in, Skylar Thompson is a bum. It does suck that he gets in the game. We automatically fumble, they scoop and score. Like I said, quarterback situation atrocious earlier this year when Tua went out. And I mean atrocious to the point where, like I said, Skylar Thompson might be in the USL next year. I'm just saying, not in the NFL. Let's see what he does in these last 10 minutes. Tua Tagovailoa and those guys. Nothing better than that. I don't know if you ever played sports or not. Nothing better than when you and the starting guys go out there and put a whooping on a team and you could sit out early and just joke around with your guys and feel good about what you've done and let some of the other guys get some more run and just laugh and have fun. And that's what these Dolphins are doing right now to a not so good New England team, but a New England organization that had a long time coming to them. 305-567-0560. You can call in if you're leaving the Dolphins game. If you're just turning the Dolphins game off and saying, let's celebrate and party, this is where the party's at. I am Dan Day. Solo dolo till 4:45, leading you up to the Heat game that is going to be against the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Now, a team that, Western Conference champions last year. Remember, they lost to the Boston Celtics in the finals. No Luka tonight, though. So you never know with Jimmy. Probably you'll get Jimmy tonight. Nonetheless, right now we are celebrating this Dolphins game. Skylar Thompson out of the game. Tua Tagovailoa back in. Mike McDaniel said, nope. We're not playing around anymore. Tua, get back in there. Skylar, go sit down. Go sit down, Skylar. Go sit down. Get in there. And it really, I don't think it was so much of his fault, although he did hand the ball off to Jalen Wright and it was a mishandle. But now Tua's back in, throwing it to Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith catching a first down. And Dolphins are just finally, Mike McDaniel's not going to play with fire. He's going to put it away. So want to hear from you, 305-567-056. You can also jump in the YouTube and the Twitch. We're going to be celebrating this Dolphins game up to 4:45. Hit me up on social media at Dan Day Radio. Up next, going to get you some stats and facts from this Dolphins game. Later on, going to get you a scoreboard, and we're just going to keep the party going. I am Dan Day once again, and this is Game Day Uncensored on 560 WQAM.
Text WQAM on the Kendall Toyota text line.
Postgame edition on AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
So the Dolphins going to win this game, and you know what? You can't whoop up on a team that's won that many championships, had that many great players, and won that many divisions over the past 20, 30 years, like the New England Patriots. Can't whoop up on them enough. It is 31-15, although the Dolphins kind of playing with that double-edged sword. They pulled the starters out with about 10, 11 minutes left. Skylar Thompson comes in, can't even hand the ball off right. It's a fumble. They scoop and score. Next series, Tua, Jonnu, you guys get back in. So the starters go back in, and Tua starts being Tua. He's running out of the pocket and takes a sack. Does not get hurt. It's quick to note, did not get hurt, but why are you playing so reckless, Tua, in a game where you're up 31-15? How are you taking a sack? And it's not you're taking a sack from the blind side. You literally had a guy chasing you, and you didn't get rid of the ball. Tua, stop being so cavalier with your health. Get rid of the ball, 31-15. It's okay on third down. We'll punt. We've got a defense that'll stop those guys, and we will get the ball back. We'll start kneeling, victory formation. All good. We got this. Now you can put Skylar Thompson back in once you stop New England with about 2 minutes left in the game. But yes, the Dolphins today had a 31-0 lead, so they have given up 16 unanswered, although one was a touchdown, kind of garbagey, and then the one with the Skylar Thompson, Jalen Wright exchange fumble, not so good. Drake May has been under duress, and he's about to get sacked by Jalen Ramsey, and he got picked off now by Jalen Ramsey, caused the pressure, and the interception was just now by who? Goodness gracious, who do we have playing defense right there? Nonetheless, it is an interception. Drake May having a terrible day at the office. Dolphins in control. Going to get the stats and facts in just a minute when the game is over, so you get a complete look at the stats. But there's some interesting scores around the NFL right now, so we're going to quick run through those. First interesting score around the NFL, the Titans. Yes, the Titans, lowly Titans. They did beat us pretty badly, though, are defeating the Texans in Houston 30-27 with about 2.5 minutes left, although the Texans have the ball. See what happens in that game. Vikings and the Bears. The Vikings always make it interesting. They always have a good record, but they always make it interesting. They are defeating the Bears 24-16 with about 3.5 minutes left in the game. One score that was really surprising was the Cowboys and the Commanders. The Cowboys were up on the Commanders 20-9. That is now 20-15. Commanders have the ball back with about 3 minutes. The Dolphins 31-15, of course. The Chiefs, no real surprise, 27-19. They are leading the Chiefs are leading the Panthers with about 3.5 minutes left. No surprise here at all. The Buccaneers mollywopping the absolutely basura New York Giants. Whoo! Daniel Jones, they cut him. No one will pick him up. Clearing waivers. I'm not saying he's a bad backup quarterback, if you know what I'm saying. Backup quarterback situation. Very interesting here in South Florida. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. Nonetheless, they're saying that Daniel Jones wants to go to a quote-unquote Super Bowl contender to be a backup quarterback. Okay. Nonetheless, it's as bad as you think it is in New York with both teams, but especially, no, I don't know if especially. I think both teams suck. The Buccaneers are up on the Giants in the Meadowlands, 30-7, MetLife Stadium, whatever you call it, 30-7. Lions doing what we expected them to do to the Colts, which is good news, 24-6. That is a final score. That means we're right there with the Colts. The only reason we are not in that final playoff spot now is because the Colts hold the tiebreaker. They defeated us with Anthony Richardson, who has actually shown some signs over the past couple of weeks. Nonetheless, Lions continue their march toward what looks like good chance to win the NFC altogether, but we'll see. Later on today, we have some good games at 4 o'clock. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to get Raiders-Broncos. If the Raiders could help us out and go beat the Broncos in that division rivalry, that would help out a lot. 4:25, the surprisingly good Cardinals and the somewhat decent Seahawks going to be playing at 4:25. Cardinals lead that division right now, but that's a very close division, especially since San Francisco has been having their injury problems and just can't seem to get it together. Cardinals barely beat us. The Seahawks, they beat us pretty bad, but once again, that was Skylar Thompson, Tim Boyle. What'd you expect from us going across the country? 49ers and Green Bay Packers rivalry renewed at 4:25 from Lambeau Field, which is where the Dolphins will be this coming Thursday. The Rams and the Eagles play tonight. It is Sunday Night Football at 8:20. The Eagles look like they are figuring things out. They are back to their old form. They got The guy that the New York Giants should have kept, Saquon Barkley, and gotten rid of Daniel Jones. Now they've gotten rid of both of them. They have nothing to show for it except a really crappy team. And then Monday Night Football could be interesting. The Ravens and the Chargers, not just because they're two good teams, but the Ravens hopefully can beat up on the Chargers. Once again, giving the Dolphins a little more hope in their playoff run. The main thing is, I don't worry about all that. I don't worry about if they beat this team and this team does this and this is this. Dolphins just keep winning. Just win out. Just get it done. 3-game win streak, maybe a 4-game win streak, 5-game win streak. Still got the Jets twice on your record, on your schedule, and you don't know what the Jets are even going to look like by the time you get to the end of the season on January 5th. You don't even know what the organization, they might even change their decals by that point. The Jets are jetting like we thought they would, and the Dolphins are on the ascend. It feels so good. Going to be with you till 4:45, so stick around. Celebrating. Dolphins win over the New England Patriots. Two things I love to say. Dolphins win over the New England Patriots and Saints win over the Atlanta Falcons. Also, two things I like to say. Saints win the Super Bowl. Dolphins win the Super Bowl. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Enjoy this 3-game win streak. We're going to get you the full stats as the game is winding up right now in just a couple of minutes. Dolphins, Patriots, 31-15. We'll be back with Game Day Uncensored on 560 WQAM.
Scott Graham here from Sunday Night
accident attorneys.
Game Day Uncensored Post-Game Edition.
We keep rolling. Don't be stressed. Y'all know what's online.
Recapping the Finns game. Real reaction, real opinions, real talk for real fans.
That sounds amazing.
On AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Game Day Uncensored is sponsored by South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experience amazing by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day. Pour me in, coach. Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac. Make sure your next Cadillac is backed by Morse at Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac. Proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. By JM Lexus. At JM Lexus, you'll always get the home team advantage. And by Williamson Automotive. Williamson is Miami.
This is Game Day Uncensored. I am Dan Day, working solo today, so I have no one holding me back. No one filtering me. So I'm going to just shoot it to you straight up about this game today. Dolphins, 3-game win streak. Okay, I know it was against the Rams. It was against the Raiders. It was against the Patriots. Nonetheless, it's a 3-game win streak. Colts lose today. Detroit wins. No surprise there. Watch out, Colts. We're coming for that playoff spot. New England's not very good, I'll be honest. And I don't think Drake May is going to be very good at all either. I saw enough today from him, and I've kind of seen enough. He's one of those guys that everyone's going to keep saying, oh, wait, you'll see. Wait, you'll see. And then you never see. Kind of like Daniel Jones. Oh, wait, you'll see. He won that one playoff game against the Vikings in prime time where Kirk Cousins couldn't win a game. Wait, you'll see. You keep waiting and seeing for Drake May. This New England team, not very good this year, and I don't know if Drake May is the answer. Dolphins, though, 3-game win streak with a true litmus test coming up Thanksgiving night, Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, against the Packers, who have a good test coming up in just a couple minutes against the 49ers, who have been very uneven this year, also not been totally healthy. Nonetheless, is this the Dolphins team that we're seeing right now with strong defense, ball control, Tua leading the pack, people getting healthy? Or is this the team that we saw earlier in the year? And I know Tua was hurt, but even when Tua was getting beat up by Buffalo and barely beating the Jaguars, is this a team where the defense is pretty good, but the offense, no really big plays? Maybe they don't have an identity. They can't beat a good team. They can't win in the cold weather. True litmus test. Thanksgiving night, the Dolphins' 3-game win streak has given us that meaningful litmus test football on a Thanksgiving night. Very thankful for that. Dolphins go in there and win that game, no matter what. Whether it's a last-second crazy 58-yard field goal or flea flicker or whatever, or they win by 20, 21. It doesn't matter. It's a win. A win is a win is a win is a win is a win. And this Dolphins team is a legit playoff contender. They are who we think they are right now. The Dolphins go in there and lay an egg against Green Bay, or just get soundly beaten by Green Bay. When I say soundly, Green Bay gets up by like 7 or 10 and kind of just stays ahead the whole game. Then this Dolphins team is somewhere between the pits that we saw them when they had the backup quarterbacks playing and the team we thought we had. Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, we will know what Dolphins team we truly have. Do we have a pretender or a contender? Hopefully we'll be going to bed thankful that night. Very thankful today. The Dolphins finishing up. It is within the last 2 minutes. If you haven't left the stadium yet, or if you're leaving the stadium, you can call in 305-567-0560 and let me know how you feel. Feeling good with these Dolphins, beating up on the New England Patriots. It's always a good day to beat up on one of your rivals. Let's get to some of the stats that we had today. Of course, we're going to talk about the good guys first because they're our guys, and they had a good day. Tua Tagovailoa leads this team like no other, 24 for 32, 267 yards, and 3 touchdowns. We'll get to who those 3 touchdowns went to. Rushing, not the biggest day on the ground so far for the Miami Dolphins, but nonetheless, just getting the job done. The game is now officially over. So the Dolphins do finally win this game, 34-15, the final score. That's right, Jason Sanders added a 51-yard field goal while we were in break, following the interception of Drake May. 51-yard field goal. Jason Sanders makes it 34-15. On the ground, not too much to write home about. Devon Achane, 7 carries, 24 yards. Jalen Wright, 3 carries for 22 yards. He had a big, I think it was a 15-yard run around the corner. Malik Washington, 1 carry for 2 yards. Raheem Mostert. There's one guy who, man, they got to punish somebody for the losing streak. He fumbled a couple times. He got 1 carry for 0 yards today. I still think he's dealing with some boo-boos and some bobos. So maybe that's one of the reasons why Raheem Mostert is not getting as many carries. But after the year he had last year, this year has been, to say the least, very disappointing stats-wise from Raheem Mostert. If you had him on your fantasy team, I apologize. Jonnu Smith, 1 carry for 0 yards. Receiving, it was Jalen Waddle Day. He had one of his best days of his career. For everyone that's been saying, where's Jalen Waddle? Or the people are saying, maybe we should deal Jalen Waddle at some point. Maybe in the offseason we'll deal him. We'll trade him. We'll get some, assets for him. Because, why are we paying this guy to be a number 2 and barely even be seen? Today, he was a monster from the very beginning of the game. 6 receptions, 118 yards, but no touchdowns. Jonnu Smith continues to be the tight end we wanted him to be at the beginning of the season. He has blossomed into that tight end that we expected him to be. 7 receptions, 71 yards, and another touchdown, hard-fought touchdown too, by the way. Tyreek Hill, not a Tyreek Hill day, but nonetheless, we'll take it. 5 receptions for 48 yards. Devon Achane doing it on both sides, running and catching. 3 receptions, 24 yards. And 2 more touchdowns, receiving touchdowns for Devon Achane. The dude is a weapon coming out the backfield or wherever. Julian Hill, absolutely terrible. 1 reception for 8 yards. He fumbled on that one too, so he got stone hands. Malik Washington, 1 reception, 1 yard. Odell Beckham Jr. had 1 target in the end zone, did not get it. And Raheem Mostert continues to be in the basement. Very daunting stat line. 1 reception, -3 yards. It has not been Raheem Mostert's year. The defense was absolutely fantastic. Give Jordan Poyer some credit. A lot of people think maybe he's still playing for the Buffalo Bills. He's molding us. He had 5 tackles today, and he was all over the field for the most part. Jordan Brooks, 4 tackles, 2 assists. Chop Robinson, once again, Mr. Robinson is coming around. It takes a little while to get adjusted to the NFL. People were saying, what's the use of having a guy that almost gets there but never gets home? Well, he gets there a lot. He's always putting pressure, it seems like, on the quarterback. Today, he did get to Drake May one time, got another sack. Chop Robinson. He's got the chop celebration, the big chop like he's chopping wood. Oh, so nice. Chop Robinson gets one. Zach Sealer, they're not going to call it a sack, but he did have a strip. I thought it was a strip sack, but he caused a fumble. We recovered it. Zach Sealer, he's good for at least getting to the quarterback for sure once a game and causing a lot of issues. Of course, everyone else on the defense was absolutely great. Jason Sanders, he had 2 field goals today, 1 from 21 yards, 1 from 51 yards. Jake Bailey actually had to punt this week. He had the weekend off last weekend, so we decided to get our money's worth for him. 3 punts, 142 yards, 2 inside the 20. That's a 47.3 average on his punting. That is pretty good. And we'll look at the pretty good stats that the defense put up on these New England Patriots, who are pretty bad. Drake May, like I said, I don't know about his future, and I know Gameday, the jury should still be out. It's too soon. I know it when I see it. I knew Skylar Thompson when I saw it in his rookie year. People lambasted me. I said, you'll see. Drake May, we'll see. Some people have been saying, no, he's a really good quarterback. He was running for his life all day. I don't know if he has that it factor, as we say in French, that je ne sais quoi. Drake May, 22, 37, 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 really bad interception, and also that fumble loss from Zach Sealer. Can't blame him. Zach Sealer got him. Kendrick Bourne came in for 1 pass. Nothing. Rushing, nothing to write home about. New England didn't have much to write home about offense at all. One of their touchdowns and the 2-point conversion was after a fumble. Skylar Thompson mishandling it to Jalen Wright, and they picked and scooped and scored. Antonio Gibson had 6 carries for 30 yards. Drake May, like I said, he ran for his life. 5 carries, 26 yards. Jermichael Hasty, 1 carry, 15 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, 8 carries, 13 yards. Demario Douglas, 1 carry, 1 yard. Not a lot of great receiving. Demario Douglas, 5 receptions, 61 yards. Austin Hooper, 4 receptions, 59 yards, and a touchdown. And then the rest of the guys are a bunch of people you probably never even heard of. So I'm not going to waste my breath or my time going through anything that they have saying and going in. Other than that, it's just a good day. Good day for the Dolphins. Playing great, 34-15, whooping up on the New England Patriots, who are now 3-0 Dolphins 5-6, 34-15. The final score. Don't look now in the standings. We're in second place in the AFC East. Not going to catch the Bills, most likely. I'm going to be honest. We're not going to catch the Bills, but well ahead of the Jets. And we've beaten the Patriots. We swept the Patriots for the season. We still have the Jets 2 more times this year, including the final game of the regular season, which is scheduled for January 5th against the Jets. I have a feeling that game might mean something, might mean a lot. Don't look now. Dolphins trending in the right direction. They're 5-6 on the season, winners of 3 in a row. Onward and upward to Green Bay for the true litmus test that I was telling you about. It's exciting times for our Miami Dolphins. If you're leaving the stadium right now, 305-567-0560. Of course, you can also jump into YouTube and Twitch. We are live. Feels good. Not going to get any sympathy for the Patriots getting whooped, especially if you're a Dolphins fan, because you've been on the wrong end of this fight many a times. Like I said, it made for 20 years, cream of the crop. I'm not saying the Dolphins didn't do their part, but one of the reasons why you haven't won divisions, one of the reasons why you haven't been to that many playoff games, one of the reasons why you haven't won a playoff game in 24 years. So I'm not going to feel bad. I'm not going to feel bad at all. In fact, feel bad we let you score 15 points. Skylar Thompson, get a hold of it. That was funny, though. They put the subs in about 10 minutes ago. Skylar Thompson mishandles the ball to Jalen Wright. They scoop, score, get a 2-point conversion. Sit down. Tua, everybody back in. Starters back in. Jonnu, everybody back in. Tua then takes a sack. I don't know why Tua is taking a sack in that situation. He's up by enough. Throw the ball away. He's trying to run out the pocket. We don't need you anymore, Tua, to prove that you're tough. You've already proven you're worth the money. You've already proven you're a great quarterback. I don't need you to prove you're tough. Peyton Manning didn't have to prove he was tough. Dan Marino didn't have to prove he was tough. I will say, Drew Brees, he didn't want to prove that he was tough, but he took some nasty hits in New Orleans. But Tua, you've proven all you need to prove. So now just stay healthy and prove that you can put this team on your back and keep this win streak going. Meaningful football Thanksgiving night. Ooh, they win Thanksgiving night. Like I said, a true litmus test of a football game. You win that game, all of a sudden, things start really opening up for the Miami Dolphins. How you doing today? So often people call me up after these bad losses that we had and said, how you doing, Dan Day? And I said, I'm really doing bad. Today I'm doing really good. 3-game win streak, beating up on New England. We have a quarterback that we can believe in, a team and a defense that we can believe in. Patriots cannot say the same thing right now. The only thing they know is they're going to have another very high draft pick come NFL draft time. Taking you up to the Heat and the Dallas Mavericks game. Preheat with Alejandro Solana going to be starting at 4:45. Got one more segment. We're going to get to our JM Lexus player of the game. And you know what? We're just going to keep the party going. 305-567-0560 is the party line. Call in. We're going to close things out next here on Gameday Uncensored, 560 WQAM.
I'm Haywood Highsmith from the Miami Heat. Listen to our games here.
99.9 HD2 and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
Easy like Sunday morning. Our Sunday afternoon. The weather's beautiful. Dolphins are on a 3-game win streak. And they have once again swept the season series with the New England Patriots in a no-doubter today, scoring 24 in the second, by the way, 34-15. Soak it up. It feels so good. So we got the Miami Hurricanes football team winning yesterday big against Wake Forest. Basketball team not so good today. Whew, man, they took 77-70 loss to Virginia Commonwealth. It wasn't that close. Tonight you get the Heat and the Mavericks. Sort of rivalry renewed from those finals years. Maybe you can have some winners. And of course, the Dolphins 34-15. Playing a great game today, those Miami Dolphins. That now brings us time for the JM Lexus Player of the Game. At JM Lexus, it's the perfect time to catch the deal you've been waiting for. As the Golden Opportunity sales event continues, don't miss your opportunity to score even more now at JM Lexus. No doubter who the JM Lexus Player of the Game is. A guy much maligned this season. A lot of people saying, why are we paying him all this money to be wide receiver too? He's not catching the ball like he should be. He's not getting enough targets. He's not explosive. There's been whispers that maybe he doesn't need to be on this team anymore. Why are we spending all this money for lack of production, for a decoy, for a blocking receiver? Well, today he announced that he is a part of this team, a major part of this team, and one of the best receivers in the league. He is Mr. Jalen Waddle, 8 receptions, 144 yards, and his second touchdown of the year. Big receptions, big yards, big touchdown for Jalen Waddle, getting our JM Lexus Player of the Game without a doubt. You just felt like when he was in the game and things started going his way, it was like, exercising some demons, feeling good about himself, feeling like this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way I want my Dolphins to be. This is the way I want to play. It's still in him. We still got it. Let's not worry about it. Just keep winning, keep controlling the ball, win these games, and it'll be so good. Looking at the overall stats, once again, it was all one-sided. Total yards, Miami Dolphins, 373 yards to 267 from the Patriots. Passing yards, 308 yards to 182 from the Patriots. Rushing yards, they did eke us out a little bit on that, 85 yards to our 65 yards. Not a big rushing day for either team. Yards per play, 5.7 for the Dolphins, 4.2 for New England Patriots. And the stat this Dolphins team has now become kind of synonymous with. It's hard to believe because last year, greatest show on serve, quick strike team, ball control. What was that time of possession? 32 minutes and 4 seconds to New England's 27 minutes and 56 seconds. And a lot of their minutes came in garbage time when the Dolphins really didn't worry about it that much. The game was well out of hand. Patriots got penalized all over the place. 10 penalties, 75 yards. Dolphins only 3 penalties for 18 yards. It was what you would expect the score to be after hearing those stats. 34-15 Miami Dolphins win. And like I said, I'm going to be saying it all next couple of days because it's not even a whole week because Thanksgiving night is a litmus test to see what Dolphins team we do have. Is this the Dolphins team that is worthy of this win streak with Tua back and getting healthy? Or is it Dolphins team that is just underperforming and underachieving this year? We'll find out Thursday night, 8:20, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, against those Green Bay Packers, who are about to get underway, actually, with the San Francisco 49ers. Some interesting games happening in and around the league. Some surprises. The Titans. Remember when they came and whooped us? I mean, we didn't have a quarterback. We were bad. Well, they beat the Texans in Houston today, 32-27. And you're probably saying, well, Will Levis sucks. Will Levis has been putting up numbers, though. 18 for 24, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. CJ Stroud, I don't want to hear it. They're 7-5 still. Not a sophomore slump, but a lot more tape out on him now. He's 20 for 33, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Some other scores of note around the league. The Bears and Vikings tied up in overtime. Vikings seem to be cruising in the game. Don't count out Caleb Williams and those Bears. Caleb Williams having himself a day. Good thing I picked him up on my fantasy team. 32 for 47, 340 yards, and 2 touchdowns. How's Jonathan Owens doing? He's playing, Mr. Simone Biles. So interesting game right there. So far, 2 very surprising games. Of course, there was a surprise Thursday night with the Browns and the Steelers. Cowboys have defeated the Washington Commanders 34-26. Chiefs, no surprise, although it got close towards the end. Wasn't that close. Chiefs beat the Panthers 30-27. No surprise here. The Buccaneers stomp the New York Giants, and Tommy DeVito, he'll save the day. Daniel Jones cut his ass. 30-7 Lions. No surprise here. They beat the Colts, although that does help the Dolphins. 24-6. And just getting underway now, you got the Broncos and the Raiders. If the Raiders could do us a solid and beat the Broncos, help us out with the playoff standings. Cardinals and Seahawks, 2 teams that the Dolphins have already faced and lost to this year, just getting underway. And like I said, just getting underway. 49ers, Packers, very interesting to see, A, what the Packers look like as we have a game Thanksgiving night against them, and B, 49ers for 2 reasons. Number one, see if the 49ers can get back to the team a lot of people thought they are supposed to be, and also they're coming to town later on this year. So you get the 49ers later on this year. So kind of scout the opponents with this old school NFC rivalry game. It always seemed like in the playoffs, some of the most epic matchups were between the Packers and the 49ers when we were younger. Tonight, you get a pretty decent Sunday night game. Rams versus the Eagles. Eagles seem to be riding the ship. I know everybody hates Nick Sirianni, but you know what? Keep winning. All people will say is punchable face, but keeps winning. What could I say? Start losing, punchable face. Don't let me get close to them. That's what they're going to say. The Rams, do you get the good Rams tonight? Do you get the not so good Rams tonight? We're going to find out at 8:20. Then tomorrow night, Ravens, Chargers. Ravens, they seem to be a good team. The Chargers seem to be not as good as everybody wants to think they are. We'll find out tomorrow night. Also, if the Ravens could beat the Chargers, slightly helps the Miami Dolphins with their playoff hopes. So games right there. Interesting. Once again, I don't care about we need help from this and this and this and this. Main thing is the Dolphins win out. Very, very, very likely that they are going to make the playoffs. Once again, very, very, very hard to win out in the NFL, but not the most deadly and dangerous schedule still ahead for the Miami Dolphins as they get ready for not the long haul, but the end of the season. A team that, once again, much maligned last year for not beating good teams, and at the end of the season falling apart. Maybe this team is constructed different to where maybe they weren't so good at the beginning of the season, but at the end, they end it with a flurry on a 3-game win streak. You get the Packers Thursday night, then you get the Jets. Come on, let's go. You get the Jets coming up on December 8th. That is going to be a home game. You go to the Texans. We've seen the Texans. They are susceptible to being beat. They are not the team that everybody thought they were going to be just walking to the Super Bowl. 49ers, they're not the 49ers we saw last year, at least not yet. They come to town December 22nd. You go to the Browns. Hopefully it's not a blizzard. That is going to be a night game. And then the Jets to end of the year. That Jets game could actually mean a whole lot more than some people might have thought a couple of weeks ago. Could be a game where the Dolphins, and I've said it for a while, if everything plays out right, it could be a game where the Dolphins win or go home. Win that game. If you told me a couple of weeks ago, hey, last game of the year against the Jets, at the Jets, don't know what the hell the Jets are going to look like by that point. I mean, you could have totally different personnel, coaching staff, janitorial staff there with the Jets. It's just day to day. Nonetheless, Dolphins peaking maybe at the right time. Get that win in the Jets. Maybe it's a win or go home game. You get into the playoffs. You're the hottest team in the league, riding a big time win streak. You've gone on the road in cold weather and won big games in prime time. Maybe, just maybe, once again, holding out hope, feeling good after beating division rivals, New England Patriots, 3-game win streak, albeit against the Rams, the Raiders, and the New England Patriots today. But still feeling good. Not trying to look too far ahead, but still feeling okay about the rest of the way with the defense playing the way they did and the way they have. They are not a fluke defense. We have enough sample size to know this defense is really good with Jalen Ramsey all over the field. Calais Campbell, Zach Sealer, the 1-2 punch we thought we were going to lose when Christian Wilkins left for free agency. They have been absolutely fantastic. The guys have just stepped up, made big play after big play, getting after the quarterback, getting after everyone. Tua Tagovailoa, proving once and for all he is a top flight quarterback in the league. We saw what happened when he was out those 4 weeks with the concussion. He is a true leader of this team. This team holds itself differently when he is in the game, when he's at the controls, when he's doing things. Mike McDaniel, not as flashy. His offense not as sexy as it was last year, but maybe that's to his credit. Maybe we were wrong for saying, what's wrong with the offense? Why do they not look like themselves? Maybe this is how he now realizes they have to look to succeed at the end of the season and not so much at the beginning of the season. Maybe Mike McDaniel made that adjustment and said, you know what? We got to tone down the sexiness and get more of an efficient body of work. We got to be a little more ball control, a little more ground control. We got to rely on our defense more. We have to keep the ball on the field and keep the defense off the field. Maybe he made that adjustment. We gave him a hard time at the beginning, saying this team does not look like they're supposed to. Tua's not getting his targets. Jalen Waddle, who today got his targets, not getting his targets. They seem like they're more decoys and blockers. Why are we paying them all this money? You got Devon Achane, who's the workhorse of this team. Tua, the leader. Maybe, just maybe, they're trending in the right direction at the right time. And like I said, I am so excited for Thursday because I'm putting all my eggs in the Thursday night game basket. Litmus test. Are we a good team that's trending upwards and has a really good chance to make a playoffs? Or are we a team that's, once again, underachieving and not very good? I don't want to hear the talk. Tua is one injury away from everything getting blown up. Yes, he is going to be a little bit cavalier with the ball, with his health, but nonetheless, if we can keep him upright and keep him in games and he can be smart with it, this team gives themselves a chance with that defense, the quarterback, and maybe, just maybe, Mike McDaniel doing a better coaching job than we've given him credit for all year long. Very, very exciting stuff with these Miami Dolphins. Of course, we're going to be joining you for the pregame and the postgame. Dolphins, Packers, Thanksgiving Day. I'm giving up my Thanksgiving Day because, like I said, all my eggs are in that basket. This is the game of the year for me. Not going to shy away from it. Game of the year, Thanksgiving night, the whole world to watch. Dolphins, when the lights are bright, have they now learned that they can step into the spotlight as opposed to in the past usually stepping out. Pregame starts at 4 o'clock on Thursday. Tobin, Solana. I'm going to be on the postgame with my cousin Vladimir Lewisov from about 11:30 until 1:30. Heck, if the Dolphins win, I might just pop open some Red Stripe and take the postgame all the way till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning with Joe Rose. You know me, I'm crazy like that, but enjoy it now. I don't want to hear, oh, look who the 3-game win streak is against. I want to hear, we got a 3-game win streak. We got a quarterback, might have a coach that we can believe in for once. No more doubts. We'll find out, though, Thursday. Whew, Thanksgiving Day. Does it get much better? I do not know about that. I do know that we are in the hunt and we have a shot. Now, the Heat about to take over. They got the Dallas Mavericks. They're getting ready to ball out. Mavericks team without Luka Doncic. That's okay. Hey, look, we were without Jimmy for a long time. Don't know if Jimmy's going to be playing or not. I've been focusing in on the Miami Dolphins all day. So I might go home. I got to do some cooking tonight. And if you ever follow me on social media at Dan Day Radio, especially on Instagram, you know my cooking can be a wild adventure. I don't even know what I'm cooking. Somebody sent me a link on Facebook or something. I'm just going to figure it out. You know, I don't know. I'm going to hit some drinks. I'm going out to Jensen's liquor store right now. Grab a couple drinks. Get ready for the night. Thank you for joining us. 305-567-0560. I see Heat Colt has jumped in. Says, what's up, Dan? Menu. I know Skylar Thompson. I don't know what he's doing. RVA Richie's been with us all day. Appreciate you jumping in. Been keeping us up to date on, man, whatever happened to Washington Commanders against the Dallas Cowboys. Whew, not very good. Surprising games today. Any given Sunday is what we always say. In any given Sunday, you see teams like the Titans winning. You see teams like, well, the Colts lost. That's it. But you see teams, getting hurt and not playing as well as possible. Dolphins, though, looking to be very steady, very steady. Once again, another 30-point plus game for the Miami Dolphins. That is their second 30-plus point game of the year. It's not as sexy and as fun as it was last year. And maybe, just maybe, that's a good thing. Maybe, just maybe, that's a good thing. Maybe, just maybe, Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, this defense, this organization took a step up this year, and we just didn't realize it at first. We'll find out Thursday night against those Green Bay Packers. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to play with my bunnies, going to cook, going to Jensen's Liquor Store. Up next, it is the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks preheat with Alejandro Solana pregame, Tommy Tog, Jason Jackson, Amy Audibert on the call. Then you get the postgame with Tommy Tige, and Alejandro Solana. Dolphins win, Dolphins win, Dolphins win. Soak it up. Hopefully, in a couple hours, we can say Heat win, Heat win, Heat win. I am Dan Day. Thank you for listening to Game Day Uncensored right here on 560 WQAM. Later, slug.
Joe Rose here. If you're a Florida business owner looking to sell your business, then you need to call